Okay, so I want to name three things that really helped me initially when I was around the age of 19 and really struggling with suicidal feelings. This is not about a psychological approach, just three things that, especially then and over time. The first is that I met a psychologist, I bumped into them in the psychology department. And I told her about my situation, and her response was, try to delay committing suicide till tomorrow. And when tomorrow comes, try to delay it again. That made a huge difference for me personally. Because at the time, everything felt dark, chaotic, and I couldn't see the light. I couldn't see when I could come out of this. I didn't start therapy at the time. I had no help. In fact, I might have tried to seek help from the psychology department. I don't remember exactly, but the point is that with all of this darkness and internal chaos, I felt trapped. So that comment that I can delay it till tomorrow, in one sense, it highlighted something that I wasn't very conscious of. I knew on an emotional level I didn't want to be in this life. I didn't really have a plan about leaving this life either. I was just caught up in all of this. I couldn't see a light. And the comment highlighted that I actually have the power to leave. I had an autonomy. I can plan to leave, even though on some level I'm trying to not think about it, but it's also there, so there's all of that tension. So it highlighted that I have the power to leave, and I have the power to delay it. The combination of those two centered me and made me realize that I always have the power to leave. So there was some internal shift, being caught up in a storm, and then there was some sort of clarity. And I always held that. When I started to work on myself and started going to therapy, and I started to see, even before seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, it took me years to see the light. But whenever I felt suicidal, it helped me feel empowered. Now, sharing this, I don't know if this will work for everybody. It's unlikely that there's any one thing that worked for me that can work for everybody. But some people might avoid even saying that kind of statement. It's like, well, don't make them think about suicide. Well, the reality, if it's there, it's there. So that's one really strong, and it's very rare for me to have met a statement or one way of looking at something that gave me a direction. Most of the work, the inner work, is an insight is not enough to create shift, but that was empowering. So that's number one. The second thing that really helped me at a certain point, I was studying psychology. I don't remember if I was in therapy or not, but I was reading a lot of books. I think this came from the same person, Isolda. She had an inner belief herself that if you call upon your inner world to help you, that it will respond. I think that concept exists in various forms, whether it's spirituality and psychology, probably Carl Jung. It's there, it's out there. But it's a belief. It's not a scientific statement that if you put in the work, you'll get there. Because that's a very muddy field when you're dealing with suicidal feelings and you have a lot of traumas in your life. But for me, I bought into it. I believed it. Whether that is through absorption, because I was talking to a person who had a gentle smile and was a professional and was conducting herself in such a way that she has seen this as part of nature. I don't know. The point is that I believed in it. I believed in it before I started to see the results of it. So it's like a path. It's like, well, maybe in religion, it's like believing in God. And you can read books on theology. You can, and your views can shift with time. But sometimes there is a core concept or a core belief, and that was one of them. And with time, it proved to be true. I saw it unfold. I kept on working for it. I kept on working on myself with the belief, not only that I'm going to work through that pain and get out of it, but it's a belief that life can be beautiful and magical. Whether I will ever get there is irrelevant. It's like believing in gold out there, and you go for it, you search for it, except this is internal work. And I knew it was very messy work. I knew it was going to be very painful work. But that belief, I still hold it. So a third thing, actually it's from the same therapist as well. I worked for her briefly or intermittently in one group session. Anyway, very early on, she explained to me that improvement is 4 steps forward, 3 steps backward. That was so important because the work is painful, and every time I feel like I've gotten to a new place, a better place, other stuff comes up. It's almost like certain parts, you work on them. It's like, I don't know. I mean, sometimes I look at the inner world like a whole government or a whole world with animals and primal creatures, fantastic creatures, and regular people, and maybe angels. And sometimes the world feels much smaller, like 10 kids. I mean, that's the image I have for myself when I played guitar all of these years, and I was in a very chaotic space. It's like I was trying to play music and focus, and there's 10 kids around me, each with different needs. One is crying, one is going nutty, one is angry. And it's like you pay attention to 2 of the kids and they feel better, and then the other kids is like, well, now it's my turn. It seems that the nature of the inner work has that tendency. It's like everything is calling to be loved and healed, and if there's a lot of stuff there, then the process is going to be not a linear process. Give and take, little forward, little backward. That's what was great about that statement is that it helped me not feel disappointed every time that I improved and I went back. Because when you get to a better place, it's like, oh, I'm feeling better, and then things get fucked up. Man, that could feel like this work is endless and we're never gonna get there, Okay, so that was the third one. There's 2 more. I'm not sure whether to add them here or not, and I said 3, I guess, for simplicity, but there is one more. Yeah, there is one thing when I think about what kept me going all of these years, and it's kindness. It's the kindness of people that I've met all along. I've tried everything that I know in every direction. Sometimes I meet somebody we don't think the same way, like somebody who believes in a religious dogma, but their heart is in the right place and they could treat me with kindness. It's the kindness that is the gold for me, whatever form, and everything else around it can look very messed up. You could look at a person who's trying to talk to you, who's like, man, some of the stuff you're saying is nutty. I can't even relate to it intellectually. But if there's kindness, I would always leave feeling like there's a bit of gold in me. Somebody just gave me something beautiful, and that spreads in its own way, in ways that I have no idea what's happening. So yeah, kindness is the healer, whether it's from others or whether I need to give to myself. There's one more thing as well. I guess there's a lot of stuff, but in terms of trying to distill what kept me going is my passion for music. I didn't, when I heard that statement, you don't choose what you love, that would be one of them, because when I heard music, it did something to me. It's not something I decided I'm going to like music. I guess I stayed here and, at the age of 19, I really wanted to leave. I could see that it's going to be a very painful path. And I stayed for others. But the one thing in this life that is for me a direct relationship besides people is music. And being a musician, that wasn't an easy path, because struggling with internal chaos and emotional pain and not being able to focus is very painful. But having something that I was passionate about, it created pain by not being able to rise up to it and not being able to have fun in the way I wanted to. But at the same time, I guess it's the closest I have to divinity, or a relationship with something beyond me that I don't understand. Now I know some people might not know what their passion is, but I'd like to believe that there is something for everybody. I guess I don't know, man. I hope I'm not preaching here. I'm just sharing what works for me.